in the darkest corners of Manila's slums, where hunger and hope live side by side, a 12-year-old boy named Junjin sings to the broken sky. His voice soft, cracked, but full of dreams echoes, through narrow alleys of rusted tin and mud. Every night, he stands beside their tiny shanty, singing to forget the growl of his empty stomach. His mother sells rags by the roadside. Father, no one talks about him anymore. Some say he left. Others whisper something far worse. But Junjan never speaks of what really happened. No one believed this little boy could ever change his life. Not here. Not in a place where dreams are cheaper than rice. Until one night, a stranger stopped and listened. Just one song, one moment, and everything was about to change. But before the light could break through, darkness would test his heart in a way no child should ever face. What Junjun did next would break even the hardest soul and remind the world that kindness still finds its way, even in the poorest corners of the Philippines. Every morning, Junjun wakes to the rattle of tricycles and the smell of dried fish frying in the next shanty. Their small home stands by a muddy canal in Tando, where plastic bottles float like forgotten dreams. The roof leaks when it rains. The walls tremble when the trucks pass. But for Junjun and his mother, Aling, Rosa, it is still home. Aline Rosa hums old Tagalog love songs while washing clothes for neighbors, her fingers rough, her bike bent. But she always smiles at her son. Anak, she says softly. Keep singing. That's our way out. Junjun listens, hugging a broken radio he found in the trash's only teacher, his only friend in music. Sometimes, his best friend, Boyette, visits after scavenging for junk. They make microphones from sticks, pretending to sing for imaginary crowds. Their laughter fills the alley, a temporary shield against the hunger that never truly leaves. When night falls, Junjun climbs onto the wooden bench outside, his eyes fixed on the sky. His voice rises above the city's noise jingle, cracked, but overflowing with hope. And for a moment, the entire slum seems to fall silent, listening to a boy who dares to dream beyond the darkness. One humid afternoon, Junjun came home from collecting bottles and saw his mother sitting by the door, her face buried in her hands. The wash basin was empty. The clothes, half done. A knot of fear tightened in his chest. "Ma," he whispered. She didn't answer. Only tears fell through her fingers. The landlord had come that morning, 3 months late on rent. If they couldn't pay by the end of the week, they would be on the streets. The shanty might be broken, but it was all they had. That night, sleep wouldn't come. The radio was silent, its batteries long dead. He held it close anyway, like a pillow for his fading dreams. He wanted to sing, but his throat felt locked in fear. His friend Boyette noticed the change. "Wag kang tumigil saya, kanta moyo." Jun sighed softly, but Junjun could only manage a weak smile, hiding the terror behind his eyes. 2 days later, while helping his mother carry laundry, Junjun heard a deep, unfamiliar voice. A man standing near the sari-sari store was watching him. "Ikaw ba yung batang kumakanta saya gabi?" he asked. "Are you the boy who sings at night?" Junjun froze. No one ever asked that before. The man smiled faintly, handed him a folded card, and walked away without another word. Junjun's hands trembled as he opened it. Inside was a single sentence written in fading ink. "Come to the plaza at sundown. Bring your voice." He looked around, but the man was gone. His mother called from a distance, her voice breaking through the wind. But Junjun couldn't answer. His heart was racing, torn between a desperate hope and a crippling fear. Who was that man, and what waited for him at the plaza? The day of the plaza came, but Junjun never made it there. That morning, Aling Rosa collapsed while doing laundry. The heat, the hunger. Her body just couldn't take it anymore. Junjun ran barefoot through the streets, his screams for help swallowed by the noise of the city. People came, but all they could offer were pitiful stares and empty sighs. At the small, public clinic, he waited outside the door, clutching the old card in his hand. The nurse said his mother needed medicine they couldn't afford. He looked at the card, then at his mother lying weak and pale. The plaza, or her. He stayed. The sun went down without him. Somewhere far away, music played. Someone else was singing the song that could have been his. Days passed. His mother's condition worsened. The few coins they had were gone. Boyet tried to help, bringing rice from his own family, even skipping his own meals. Kaya mo yan, Jan, he'd whisper. But Janjan's voice was gone. He couldn't sing anymore. Every time he tried, his throat closed up with tears. The neighbors stopped listening. The other children started mocking him. Akala, kayo singer ka. They laughed. I thought you were a singer? At night, Jonjin sat outside their dark shanty, holding the broken radio against his chest. No sound. No light. Only the memory of the man's voice. Bring your voice. He closed his eyes, whispering into the silence, Lord, why did you give me a dream if I can't use it? The wind answered softly, carrying the faint sound of music from somewhere far away, fragile, fading but still alive. For a single breath, Junjin looked up at the stars and felt that maybe, just maybe, someone out there still believed in his song. 3 nights after his mother fell ill, Junjin sat outside the clinic, staring at a flickering streetlight. The world felt too quiet, as if even the city had given up on him. Then, a voice cut through the silence. A voice he hadn't heard since that day at the sari-sari store. Bata, ikaw nga, pala yung kumakanta. Saya gabi. It was the stranger with the card. He walked closer, holding a small paper bag. You didn't come to the plaza, he said softly. I waited. Junjin bowed his head, his voice cracking. My Nane, she's sick. The man knelt beside him, his eyes full of understanding. I know. That's why I came. He opened the bag. Inside were bottles of medicine, a bag of rice, and 2 new, shining batteries for a radio. Junjin's breath caught. Parasan too. Why are you doing this? Because once, the man said, his voice thick with emotion, a poor boy sang in the streets when I was broken. His song saved my life. I never forgot that voice. Tears streamed down Junjin's cheeks. Hindi kayo na kayang kumanta, he whispered. I can't sing anymore. The man smiled. Then sing for her. For love, not for fame. That's where true music lives. Junjin looked through the clinic window at his mother, sleeping weakly. He placed the new batteries in his old radio. A soft static filled the air. Then music warm and familiar. He closed his eyes. The first note trembled from his lips, fragile but filled with love. The man stood there, silent, listening as one small voice began to heal 2 broken souls beneath the Manila night sky. Thank you so much for watching. If this story touched your heart, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel. For more stories that remind us of the power of hope and kindness, we'll see you in the next one.